Today's topic I am really excited to dig into because I get this question all the time. So here it is. The question is, how can you clearly differentiate the content between your paid group and your free group? Okay, so I want you to give me a yes in the comments if you've ever had that question simmering around inside of your brain, if you have ever been thinking about how in the world am I supposed to differentiate the content between my free group and my paid group? Why would anyone pay me for my products or programs if I have a free group and if I'm helping them for free all day long? Well, we don't want that to happen. And so that's what this live stream is going to be all about today. I want you to walk away with a better understanding of exactly what you need to post inside of your free group so that you never feel like you're, giving it all away for free, and so that it has a positive impact on increasing sales, but also in providing valuable information to your community, right? Because that's the whole point of this. We don't want to just be in our free groups all day, telling people buy this, buy that, and not really delivering full value. Okay, so the first thing that I want to talk about is how to avoid the Band-Aid effect at all costs. Now, I see the Band-Aid effect. If you Google the Band-Aid effect, it's not going to come up because I just made it up yesterday when I wrote you an email. So it's not like a real thing. But I find that it's the best way to describe what I see happening in these free Facebook groups all the time. So here's what it is. You're hosting your free Facebook group and someone comes in, and I'm going to use an example of something that happens in my own Facebook group. And so what happens is I'm in there and someone comes in. They never posted in there before, right? Somehow they found my group and they're really excited about building their own Facebook group and they want answers and they want them now, right? So they join my free group and they come in and they tag me right away and they say, Caitlin, how do I grow my group? Now, when they're asking a question like that, they're looking for a Band-Aid, right? They're looking for a quick fix or a quick tip that is going to solve their problem. Now, give me a yes in the comments if you've ever had someone come into your group and do that, right? If they've ever come into your group and they just want a quick fix, right? They want a Band-Aid. Now, as you and I both know, right, because we're all experts in our own separate fields. Maybe you have a group about nutrition, about, parenting. I don't know what your groups are about. But whatever it is, you're an expert in your field. And so when someone comes in demanding a quick fix, it can be very frustrating because you and I both know that there are no quick fixes, right? Now, I can tell this person that comes into my group, I can say, okay, if you want, if you want to turbocharge your group, here's a quick way to do it. Go do X, Y, and Z. However, if I take a step back and I look at this person's group, I'm going to see a whole range of things that are going on that are really limiting their growth. So giving this person a little Band-Aid, right? A little quick tip, a quick fix. Like if I'm like, use more hashtags, or I don't even know. I would never give that advice, but whatever. Let's say I said that as, advice. That's not really helping them. That's not serving, right? It's not serving. What's going to happen is because that one person has so many other problems going on that are much deeper than the quick fix that they're looking for, they're going to take my advice. It's not going to work, right? And they're going to feel bad about themselves because it didn't work. And they're also not going to trust me because I just, gave them a quick fix and it didn't work. even though, even though asking a question like that, they're kind of like, you're doomed from the beginning if you try to give someone a quick fix. It doesn't work. And this is a really hard lesson because a lot of us start Facebook groups because we want to help people, because we want to have an impact, because we want to serve our communities. And all of that stuff is important, but again, we're not serving by putting a quick Band-Aid, okay? So what can you do? Well, if someone comes into your group and they ask a question like that, you need to answer their question with a question, right? You need to answer that question with a question so that you can step back and have a better understanding of exactly what is going on in their group. For me, it's in their group because I help people grow groups. But for exactly what's going on with their problem. Because what happens is they may be coming in thinking, for example, they may be coming into my group saying, what I'm really struggling with in my business is cash flow. I'm really struggling with cash flow, but I think in my head that the best way to solve my cash flow problem is to grow my Facebook group. So I'm going to go in Caitlin's group and ask her how to grow my group. When in reality, that's not their real problem, right? So it's important to answer their question with a question. So the first thing that I always ask is, why do you want to grow? Why do you want to grow? If they come into my group and they say, hey, I really want to grow my Facebook group, I got to ask why, right? Because if they give me a reason for why they want to grow their group, and I look at that reason, I'm like, actually, growing your group is not going to solve this problem, then I can step in and help. But if I'm not getting to the root of what the problem is, I can't help, okay? So the first step is to ask them, say, why do you want to do this? Why are you trying to do X, Y, or Z? Whatever it is, the problem that they're coming in asking about. Then you'll find that some of the people just won't respond, right? These are people that just want a quick fix. They're not ready to take serious action. They're not ready, they want a quick fix, and they're not bad people. That's totally fine. But that's a way to filter out those people right away. So the next thing that you want to ask is, after you say, why do you want to solve this? Or why do you want to solve this problem? And if they tell you, if they give you a reason why and it kind of makes sense to you, then the next thing that you can ask is, what have you tried in the past to solve this problem? Because the worst thing that you can do is start to list out a bunch of stuff that they've already tried or they think they've already tried. Because here's the other thing. You're going to get a lot of people coming into your group where, for example, let's say that you run a group about health and fitness, okay? Health and fitness, and you help people, clean up their diet to lose weight. So if that's the case, you may have people coming in and saying, hey, so I need to lose weight. And you're like, why do you want to lose weight? Blah, 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 whatever. So you have that conversation, and then you say, well, what I think you really need to do is to clean up your diet. And they're like, my diet's already clean. I've already cleaned everything up. And you're like, okay, well, what are some things that you've done to clean up your diet? And as they start to go into the things that they've done, you're like, whoa, this person has not cleaned up their diet at all. This is actually the opposite of cleaning up their diet. I can now clearly see exactly why this person is not solving their problem, right? You can pinpoint that stuff. And so it's really, really important when you have those people flooding into your group, asking for these quick fixes, that you do not give it to them because it's not going to help. The other thing that I want to talk about today, which leads directly from that, is that when you're giving quick fixes and when you're giving quick tips and tricks like that, it cheapens your expertise, right? You're not in the business of selling a commodity, right? You're in the business of providing a transformation, right? Because a transformation is valuable. If the information that you're giving is something that, someone can just Google, how do I grow my Facebook group? You can Google that, right? You can Google like a quick tip or trick or how to or tech tutorial or anything like that. That's not what people are willing to pay a premium price for. And that's not really going to give them the biggest transformation. But if you are building, if in your group right now, if you look at the content that you're sharing, this is in your free group, and it's filled with a consistent stream of, tips, tricks, little tutorials, little things here and there, that's decreasing the perceived value of your brand. And that might seem kind of counterintuitive because you're like, well, I'm helping people. Yeah, you're helping people, but you're helping people in a way that kind of turns your knowledge, everything that you're known for, into a commodity, right? It's all these like quick little tips and tricks, okay? And you don't want to do that. I am like getting excited and sweating, so I'm going to open this window. Now I have to warn you, someone in my neighborhood is like on the run, and there's a bunch of like helicopters around. So you might hear helicopters, and if you do, then I'm going to just like switch over to this. So I got to open my window because I am like really getting fired up here. Phew. Jeez, we've had this like heat wave here in the Bay Area these last few days, and it's been like a bit much. Okay, so back to the topic. What were we talking about? Band-Aid effect, covered that. Cheapening expertise. That's right. So your knowledge, your expertise is not a commodity. You're providing a transformation. So do not, don't get known for that like teeny little tip, trick, tech content. It's great if you want to sell like a $20 ebook, but it's not great if you want to sell a really transformational online program, coaching package, something like that. The other thing that I want to cover is, so now you're thinking, okay, great, so I'm getting transformational content. The other thing, sorry, I'm a little all over the place, but so another thing, and I'm so excited that my little like faux fur thing flew off. Okay, so the other thing that I want to cover is that this is like kind of, God, I lost my train of thought. Oh my gosh. I mean, can you even imagine, like for a second, can we just imagine like what happens when I go through menopause like one day? Like what is even going to happen? I mean, this is like ridiculous. Like, geez. Okay. So anyway, so don't get known for those tips, tricks, all that kind of stuff. So I want you to keep in mind before you post anything to your Facebook group ever, I'm going to give you 3 questions. This is to your free group, 3 questions that you need to ask yourself before you share information in there. Okay? Before you share information in there. Are you guys laughing at my like hot flash? It has been a heat wave. It has been a real heat wave over here. Okay, so the 3 questions to ask yourself, and I'm going to give you a little action step after this. So I'm going to give you an assignment to go into your group and do something, but first I want to get to this. So you've got 3 questions to ask yourself, and those questions are this. Number one, before you post a piece of content into your free Facebook group, ask yourself, does this content stir desire for my paid products and programs? Does it stir desire? I'm not saying you need to go in there and put a piece of content that's like, buy this. No. I'm talking about the free content that you share in there. Is it making people curious about the product that you sell? Is it illuminating a pain point for them that they may not have previously recognized? Okay, so that's the first question you need to ask yourself before you post inside of your Facebook group. The next question you need to ask yourself is, does this build KLT? Know, like, and trust. That's what KLT is, know, like, and trust. Does this piece of information I'm sharing build know, like, and trust? So as I shared 2 days ago in my email to you, or actually I think it was yesterday, in my email to you, I had a little story about macaroni and cheese. Okay? Now, while that specific post may not stir desire for my paid products and programs, that specific post is going to develop that know, like, and trust factor, right? It's relatable, it's helpful, it's building community, all those things. So it's establishing KLT, okay? The third question you need to ask yourself is, does this content really help people? And that may seem like a really basic question, but, you know, I see a lot of people posting content in their Facebook group that doesn't really help anyone. And that's what we're in the business of, helping people. So that's important, right? So those are the three kind of categories of content that you can be sharing inside of your group. You've got, does it stir desire for your paid products and programs? Does it build KLT? And does it actually help people? Now, here's your assignment. And I'm really excited to see the results of this assignment. What I want you to do is go inside your Facebook group right now, and I want you to tally up from all the free content that you're giving in there, right? Not what other people are posting, but from all of your posts. I want you to tally up and see how much content, and maybe only do it for the last month. Like if you have a group that you've had for like years, you don't have to go back like years and years. Maybe for the last 30 days, okay? I want you to tally up how much content do you have in there that is stirring desire for your paid programs, okay? I want you to tally up how much content do you have in there that is building know, like, and trust. And the third thing is, how much of this content is actually helping people? Now, I have a prediction. I predict that you guys are going to have the vast majority of the content that you're sharing inside of your free group designed to help people, because we're helpers, right? That's what people who like to help people, they start Facebook groups. That's just who we are, okay? My prediction is that you're going to have a lot of content that falls under that category, but the content that stirs desire and illuminates pain points to drive people to your paid products and programs, I'm going to guess that's kind of low. And I'm also going to predict that the content that you're sharing inside of your Facebook group that's designed to build KLT, and again, I'm not talking about tips and tricks, I'm talking about like real stories, I'm going to guess that's kind of low too, compared to the content that is designed to help people. And by the way, like these other two things, obviously, those are also end up helping people, but you know what I mean. So I want you to do that. I want you to go in your group. I want you to tally up into those three categories, and we're going to finish talking about this inside of my own free group, because I want to hear your results, and I want to see what's going on. So let's do that. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to put in the link to my Facebook group is caitlinbacher.com/social boss. I'm going to put a link in here in the chat box as soon as this thing is over. Got a little excited when I went live, didn't write a title, didn't do what I was supposed to do with my catchy title, but that's okay. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed this. We are going to continue the conversation inside of my Facebook group, but before I do, I want to scroll back just a little bit and see if anyone has any questions. Okay, this is a really important question. Deborah, I'm really glad you asked this. Deborah says, what if I'm already known for the tips and tricks? Perfect. Now, a lot of us start out in our business getting known for tips and tricks, okay? So a lot of us have made this transition. I myself have successfully made this transition. If you look at some of my old blog posts, you know, it was stuff like how to make a cover image for your Pinterest board or whatever, just like random, like stuff like that, right? So if you're already known for tips and tricks, the best way to start getting known for that transformational content is to just start offering it. So if you already have a lot of content out there about tips and tricks, that's okay. That's fine, right? That doesn't mean you're a bad person or anything like that. Like, that's great, right? But you need to start making that shift in the content that you share inside of your Facebook group so that, you know, so that it is more transformational. So that when you're answering questions, when people come into your Facebook group and they want a quick tip or trick, you're not giving it to them. Because number one, this is not a concierge service. You're not, teaching on demand 24/7 for free inside of your Facebook group. Let's get that cleared up right here, right? You don't want to establish that unrealistic expectation that someone can pop into your group, tag you, want a quick tip or trick, and you're going to drop everything and tell them exactly what to do. No. All of that needs to remain behind a paywall, right? Inside of my course community, I'm sharing templates, I'm sharing scripts, I'm sharing exact, second by second, step by step directions. That's behind the paywall. And you need to keep all of that kind of information behind your paywall as well, right? That's like your unique knowledge. My friend Mel Abraham is really an amazing teacher all about frameworks, and so those are your frameworks, right? All of that stuff is valuable behind the paywall. People need to pay for that, and so don't fall into that trap. Step back. Because here's the thing, when someone comes into your group asking for a Band-Aid, asking for a quick fix, you are going to show them that you are willing to show up and to help them, achieve a transformation by asking those follow-up questions that we covered earlier in the broadcast, right? Which is why are you, why do you want X? And what have you done so far to try to solve this problem? Questions like that, right? Because while you're helping this one person in your group, everyone else is watching. Even if they're not commenting or liking or anything like that, they're watching and they're going to start to think, oh, what? Well, that's an interesting way of answering that question. And it may spark something inside of them. And the next time you go to open up enrollment for your paid products and programs, that person that was watching is going to be like, oh, this person over here is different. I like the way she thinks. She thinks differently about problems. She's not here to give me a quick tip or trick or fix that I can Google for free. She's not here for that. She's here to actually provide me with a real transformation. And that's how you get known for that kind of work. So we're going to cover this information. We're going to cover this some more inside of my free group. And that's it. So the link, CaitlinBacher.com/social boss. I need to just put a bag of frozen peas on my head at this point. But I will look forward to that post inside of my group later, because we're going to be having a follow-up discussion to this broadcast right inside my Facebook group. All right. Thanks, guys.